New Mikey WAWWA.
Mikey WAWWA, bro.
Give me 1 second. I'm finna.
All right.
You got this connected to Low After Mine?
Yep.
Okay.
It's live.
I got it. I don't need to go nowhere.
Thank you for supporting.
We are back. All right, what's up, everybody? Give us a little time to get everything moving, and we're gonna share some stuff and do all that commenting type stuff and all that. So let's get this started. And Subu will be in the house shortly. Please remember to visit us at lowerafricanminds.com as we get it all together here for y'all. This is really slow. How's your sound check, Ansubu?
1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'd love to have it a little louder, but I can hear you. Let me see if I can fix anything on my end.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this Bluetooth thing is not working. Leave that alone.
Let's go with that right there. Come on in, everybody. Give some people some time to catch up.
I can't see myself on the,
Say again.
I can't see myself on the screen.
You there, bruh?
Okay, cool.
Both live and I can see you too. You already know what you look like, so don't sweat it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. So we just connecting right now, y'all. We trying to share. So if you in the room, please do share. And please like us. Come back. Connect with us. Here. This is the remix of the Connected Mind Show. We connecting once again. A little bit more connected this time, though, y'all. So
it's a journey, y'all. It's a journey.
Most definitely. So while we doing what we can do, like I said, we two men in spirit, connecting with ancestors and different other things that are connected in our universe here. But on the matter level, it's just two kings working together to bring it all together. So please, we appreciate your support. To like and share. We apologize for the delay, but the connection runs so deep, y'all, that it takes two physical men a little time to get it all connected. So we appreciate y'all patience on that. And once we do connect, our subject is going to be about one of the most important ingredients in connecting, which is communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as we speak, this communication is being connected throughout our network which runs deep through the motherland. I think to name a few places, I think Sierra Leone is on our list. Ghana, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, and Subu.
Sierra Leone, Ghana. We have Zambia with the Bantu Queen.
Right. And of course, our brothers and sisters here in the States that's holding it down.
We got a following in Nigeria, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So communication is but when we look at the word community, we see the word unity, and then we see calm. That the first part, right? We see calm. That calm stands for communication. Communication is what brings unity. There is no unity outside of communication. So we have to communicate that type of unity that what we want, and then it takes action to have that unity manifest. Unity has to have a look.
Right.
And it's been 400 years plus talking about if we could unite. Well, shit, we united in misery. We united in this hell. We united in the struggle, but we're not united in the solution. And that's where that communication comes at, you know. And it's funny, brother. It's funny without being funny, King.
How's that?
Because the brothers and sisters in South America, Central America, North America, and over in Europe, and in the continent, over in Australia, wherever we at, right? We have this colonizer or this overseer or a government set upon our shoulders, right? And we try to push it off.
Call it the system.
We have a system that we try to push off, right? Because there is a system of mind. And we're so busy being Democratic and Republican or part of the British Commonwealth or part of the French community to the point where we have to talk about worldwide African unity. We have to talk about the United States of Africa and us being over here as the sixth region. And the reason I'm saying it's funny because I hear people tell me Africans coming from the motherland don't like us in the United States. That's 2 billion people. 2 billion, you can't say the whole 2 billion people don't like you. And then you have people coming from Africa saying that the brothers and sisters that's in America, as the indigenous Africans over here, or Native Americans or Indigo, Negroes, whatever word you want to call us, Moroccans or Moors. But the point is, when they come over here, they saying we don't embrace them. And that's not true. It's a lot of brothers and sisters, right? From time that we got here, wanted to get back to Africa. And who else embraced the Africans when they got off those ships but suffer us?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because we are who we are, you know, we intermediate. So it doesn't make a difference if we came here before Columbus, during Columbus, or after Columbus. We're all in that same system, that we want a system of righteousness. And the only way we're going to get that unless we communicate to one another, right? Because we have to communicate what that righteousness look like. And part of the communication is also building institutions and being busy about the work on the ground. And that's why I salute you, Chief Taki, the Grand High Tech, because we doing that work on the ground, you know? We got we got these boots on.
Most definitely. So, and excuse me, I was preoccupied on that last part. Repeat that again so our brothers and sisters can understand that last part you just said.
I said, I salute you, Chief Taki, the Grand High Tech.
No, not that part. Of course, I want to hear that part, right before that.
Okay, well, we have to communicate the solution, and that solution of unity, that communication takes building institutions and doing active work. And I'm gonna go a little further to create an infrastructure. See, unity is when you create institutions and have an infrastructure to operate in. right? It's not, and I salute the Farrakhan, but it's not just standing at a Million Man March. It's not protesting when somebody died, which those are avenues to begin the unity process. But unity is having a parliament or a Congress, or a city council, or association, or trading money with one another, currencies. That's the type of unity that we have to communicate.
Wow. And I know you mentioned Farrakhan and that, but is there a platform to do that on now that we don't have to subject ourselves to these religions and these we putting ourselves in another category basically? Is there a platform that doesn't try to put us in all these little cups, because we're so far more advanced that you can't put us or any of creation in one little box? And just, I think that's what colonization taught us, to start categorizing things and putting all things in this compartment. But it may be somebody that fits a whole description of a fully melanated person that can be in their mind totally was we having that discussion about people that are posing with neo-Nazi type
Yes.
of groups, and right. So that I say that to say that you can't categorize, because even on the levels of our melanated, supposedly conscious people, you can't. There's no box you can put that type of person in. There's no category, because our potentials and everything expand so far, and the only construct that's even halfway controlling that is this concept of time. But I don't want to get too deep with people. But back to my question: is there a platform for us like that exists? I know. Don't give. Hold up before you answer. Don't give away our plans with Low African Minds and all that. What we're doing, because
Right.
right, we know what we're doing.
Right. But
Is there
let me
another
say it like let me say it like this, because that was a beautiful question, and it deserves an answer, right? And I can't spill the seed of Low African Mind until we plant them and we're watching them grow.
right?
But we can pick out the weeds, and so we're gonna pick out the weeds with that question. For one, I want the word Pandora box. Everyone just say Pandora box. Okay, what has been opened up. So we know Pan, right? We know Pan is a Greek god, and we know Dora, right, is a magical word that means door, right? So Pan, right, has been able to open the door to come into our dimension, meaning the Europeans, the Romans, got to Rome, right? The Greeks, the G, they reek. We got to smell them, when they was coming and while they're around us, right? That shit reeks, and they got to rush in and spread their germs as Germans, Wow. And so going into the question, right? Pandora box is open. Pan has been able to come into the dimension and to come around us, and they gave us freedom. See, we never had freedom as being in my eye, as being melanated people. We had to stay in the order of my eyes. It was forbidden us to have certain freedoms. And so that's why they're pushing freedom and democracy around the world, right? So we can mock the ancestors. So since we have that freedom, you're going to see somebody stand in the Trump campaign, talking, with some people who got a Confederate flag, in the state capitol, talking about the Confederacy is going to rise again, and you niggas are going to be slaves. Wow. Now, inside that person's mind, we understand that there was witches and warlocks. There was Wiccans. There were all kinds of secret societies and people of different crafts. And you can Google it. I was just telling Maraca, And he said, I believe you. I said, no, I'm tired of people just believing. Do your research, make inquiry. When Donald Trump got elected, they had the witches and warlocks and sorcerers come out, right? And they had different European churches come out, and they had a day, a spiritual day, a day of casting a spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so inside the clan, their leader is called Imperial Wizard. And so a wizard repeats and chants the same thing until it gets into your mind. And so if you ever notice that all those who practice magic supported Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, magic was using his words to create an illusion in our minds. So that's going back to your question. Going back to your question, right? We have the freedom, right, to follow any script we want to as melanated people.
Mm-hmm.
But only when the spell is broken do we see the necessity, right, to step into that unity. And so, a long story short, anybody under the spell, they're not going to unite with us. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's deep. I like how you broke that down, bruh. Now, I guess there's a question I want to address, and I want to make sure I word it correctly. To how do you explain? I wish I had my board right now. If I had my board, I would draw a circle, and I could put a board on here, but I don't want to waste a lot of our audience time. And thank y'all for plugging in. If you have plugged in, I haven't been watching the live or whatnot, but I mean, if you really connected, you connected, and if not, we'll see you on some other stuff. But back to what I wanted to talk about, and let me just fix the screen here. There we go. Get my mind back to remembering what it was I wanted to speak on. To the, how can I say? Let's say a circumference, and when you're looking from certain angles, and I'm trying to say this in as simple terms as I can, because I don't want to get folks confused when we get to talking about all the different dimensions. Why I had this screen up to kind of understand all the things that are connected in our universe, even to
Right. It's a lot going on at one time.
Right. So it's hard to explain to the individual that is looking at it from the perspective of most of our people, which are on this third dimensional planet of what I see is what's actually happening, when in actuality, what you see is probably 1% of what all is happening. And so we get lost in, well, this brother is the authority because he has this, that, and the other material thing, matter that this person has learned. They've already studied us enough that they know this production of matter thing that we started here in this dimension on Earth. They're out there digging now. They got all those secrets, y'all. So let's get around that part that they already know of what we brought to this world, and using it against us now, to where we're giving valuable resources for this thing based on a promise. And if you don't believe me, pull it out your wallet, your pocket right now. Let me see if I got one. I think the last time I checked, it said it is a promissory note. So we are taking this promise from a community that has proven over so many years to rob, pillage, steal, lie, cheat, all these things. We're giving the valuable resource, land, materials, our secrets, our they in all of it. Our culture. This whole world takes from our things and trades a promise.
If that's not the greatest illusion, the greatest magic, the greatest hoax in the history of magic, I don't know what it is.
I'm saying. So back to the question of how can you explain to that individual that can't see past the material things, these things that we're trying to explain that we need to be doing, that all of a sudden it's like, and it's kind of like they get a smack in the face every now and then when, oh, George Floyd, oh, that's wrong. Oh, look what they're doing to us. Oh, we gonna march. Oh, they doing this. Oh, they doing that. They doing that. But here's this, I should say, what's a good phrase for it? Messenger calling in the wind. And there's a few messengers out there now. That's why we have all these things going on and speed it up in the year of 2020 and beyond, is because they want us to slow down, because now our access to the real information of what's really going on is speeding up, and we're learning to, the truth is so visible now and so accessible to our people, just like what we're doing right here, right now. The Connected Mind Show is putting out so much real information that all these things have to come to try to stop. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Well, hold up, man. You need us. Hey, y'all want stimulus? Hey, what y'all need? Oh, y'all, hey. Come on back, y'all. Come on, what y'all need? What, you need another president? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, hold up, we got some requirements. You got to get that shot first of all.
Got to get that shot.
And let's see how we gonna do this money. I think we was talking earlier that a lot of this so-called stimulus money is going to be due back. Did we have that conversation, bro?
Yeah, there's a tax on the money, and right now they're pushing a certain form that you have to fill out if you are getting the unemployment money, right? And the stimulus money, the stimulus money was a loan, right? On the back end, you're going to get taxed for it, you know.
Wow.
So even though you pay taxes into the government, right?
Right.
The government is saying, well, in order for them to reboot the system, they had to give you something out of the coffers. And so now under
we owe you reparations, by the way, but we're gonna give you what's that phrase again? Something under the coffer. That's the phrase you use.
Yeah, something under the coffers. And so since they went into the coffers and gave us the stimulus, right? That negates any acts that was on the table, because they had to have emergency conference and to make a law, right? And inside that law, inside that act that got passed, we got to 600 or 1,400 or the 1,200. But did anybody understand what was in those 5,000 pages? So one page,
500 or 5,000.
500. You know, we exaggerate sometimes. I mean, we hear it for the truth, but right. You know that 500 is just like 5,000 words that you got to read to see what else is in there.
And let us add that because of another, I don't think we understand how big of a 500 plus year plan we are dealing with, y'all. So part of that where it was illegal for us to read is implanted. So 500 pages to a Black indoctrinated mind from Western culture, that seemed like a whole lot of pages. I'm just saying.
And basically, that 500 pages is like reading an urban novel. You know, it can be done in a period of a day for those who are efficient in reading. And the Congress, when they have material like that, they get 2 weeks to read it. You know, but the last one they only had a day to read it, and so we're going to get into that because I want to go back to something that you said, right?
Right.
How to elevate the minds of the brothers and sisters who don't see the picture, right? And that they've been studying us, right? And so, and you had the sphere on there, right, with a lot of stuff going on, a lot of activity going around, right?
Right.
And so it was an energy in the center, and there was energy traveling around that energy.
Right.
So we need to look at it like this. In the universe, there's a thing called the God particle, right?
Exactly.
Inside of us, there's a thing called the God gene. So they're looking outside to find the God particle, and they're dissecting us to see if they can get the God gene. So the God particle and the God gene interacts with one another, and that causes harmony, tranquility, and balance with the divine order of creation, which we call Mother Nature, or in ancient Kemet we say Ma'at. And so, regardless of what laws or what experiments or what persecution that we fall under, right? The God particle in the God gene realigns itself, and it always figure a way to overcome.
Wow.
And so one thing they realize for the God gene, right, to stay in contact with the God particle, it has to see the God particle and it has to speak the God particle. So that's why we have TV and we have movies and we have books and we have politicians and we got political party and we have religions, right? So we won't see and hear, right, the God particle. And so that causes a disturbance in the force. That just causes a disturbance in us, right? And so if they ever shut up, and if we ever create our own content, now we right back in trying to see the God particle, and you know, and then the God gene lines up. Well, another way to say that, one way is to say Ra, right?
Right.
So when we focus on Ra, right, then the God gene becomes a soar. So now we're trying to ascend into our soar, right?
Right.
But we cannot get into our soar unless Isis resurrect us, which is that Black woman. And so that's why it causes a disturbance that under the freedom, women, you can do everything you want to do. And if a man don't like it, you can get with another woman. You know, they got all kind of these freedoms in there, which keeps us fighting to get back in alignment. That's why the topic of our subject is the unity comes into communication, right? Because we got forces outside of us communicating to us, right? But they would like us to do and how they give us opportunities to do everything other than concentrate on the God particle, which we call Ra, and to be in tune to our own God gene, which we call it the Holy Trinity, the Asur, the Aset, in the Hiru, right? The you know, the 3 stages of development. The first stage of development is subliminal suggestion, right? And subliminal suggestion is when you snatch a child out the womb and you raise the child, right? The child already comes with a program. So if the information that the child comes with the program is reinforced visually and audibly, that child will grow up seeking the God particle, which is Ra, and being a part of the God gene, which is the Asur part of yourself or your higher self. If the child in the womb included in illusions, constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, the right to vote, pornography, and all the other things that this system allows us, that alignment never happens. And you'll see a black dude marching with some Confederates or some neo-Nazis or some white nationalists or some Klan members, into the Capitol Hill holding up a Confederate flag. He's like, how the fuck this go? Where they do this at?
Exactly.
And it's because of the audio and the visual that person grew up with. So I'm getting to the point where I don't really knock him unless the information has been presented. There go communication again. You have to communicate with the enemy, you have to communicate with the information that you have been given. If you don't communicate with the information that you've been given, you have to sit back and say, my mama gave me this, my daddy gave me this, the school gave me this, the church gave me this. Now let me communicate with my inner self to the information that they gave me. And then you have to ask yourself, is there more information? And once that more information is presented to you and you reject it, then it's on you. And I hope I didn't get too wordy. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Let the hearing ear hear and let the seeing eye see.
Exactly.
But though they have ears, they do not hear. Though they have eyes, they do not see. So if some of my brothers and sisters go hear and see, and like they keep saying in the book, contract to me, somebody go. Somebody come.
Yeah, and that's the.
I don't know if that answers your question,
right? We just here to sow the seed. So some of that seed gonna fall on good ground. Hold on. Hey, that's letting me know that I need to pause, y'all, to definitely give a shout out to Lord African Minds.
We have Dr. CQ.
Hold on.
Not seeing those rolling.
So that website is actually
for us in the Bay Area and in the Sacramento area.
I have to stop it because the video started.
In the construction of the Black Family Day, the first annual one in Vallejo. She's been interested.
There we go. LordAfricanMinds.com, y'all. I don't know if it's coming up on y'all screen. Right now, it looks like it's taking a minute to come up on my screen. But LordAfricanMinds.com, I do encourage everyone to visit LordAfricanMinds.com, become a member of LordAfricanMinds.com, so you can plug in deeper to what we're about to do with Lord African Minds, Connected Mind, Metaphysical Minds, what we're about to do with these minds that we've been blessed with beyond, that goes beyond and deeper than these material 3D scenario of the matrix that we currently seem to be distracted with. That's it. I don't know how long we've been going on. I know I said I wanted to keep it to an hour. I do appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy schedule to connect and engage with us here. Jeffrey Williams, I see you in the place. I seen you in the house. Definitely appreciate you, good brother, representing the V-Town. Crest side, right? Jeffrey from the Crest, right? So
originally when I came out the wound, he was out there, and then next place I seen him was in College Park. So we always were part of that north, Yeah,
College Park to Lofus is basically family, pretty much. College Park, Lofus, Crest Side, all that's everybody's stomping ground.
Yeah. If you want to get somewhere, you got to go through one of those territories,
exactly,
to have a good time. So we had a good time.
Exactly.
I would also like to say this. I want to thank everyone who sent energy to our beloved Queen Charm, Martina Nash. And yesterday we didn't have our show, but hopefully next Tuesday we'll be back on the air. And so come out and support us in all our endeavors. And hopefully you will be able to visit the webpage and you will see our schedule. We ask you to like, subscribe, and comment. And also, once again, www.loyalofcommand.com. Get on in and be part of the solution.
Most definitely. So that said, y'all, we're going to let you get back with your day. Please let us know. Like I said, we're working with a better schedule of things now. If this 11 a.m. on Wednesday spot is working good with you, comment. Let us know. I mean, you have our Facebook page, which is where we're broadcasting from right now. Several groups connected to that page. Everything's connected, y'all. You have our website, lowerafricanminds.com. And of course, it's all there for you to plug in. Like I said, if you go, you'll see your flag representing in the house. We do appreciate it. And look around, connect. We're steadily building. So you'll see something different, something new, and something that's definitely going to be beneficial to our people and to this next level of consciousness where we're trying to go. Also, bro, I can't go without talking about. It's good to laugh, y'all. It's good to laugh, especially in these times when a lot of people just want to cry. And I just recently somebody hit me on to the show Woke for conscious people. That show is you'll get it, and it's funny as hell. But if you ain't conscious, you won't really, you won't understand it. It's called Woke, WOKE. It's a comedian. I forgot his name, but there's a whole lot of comedians casted in there. But I did want to give a shout out to that. Every time I think of people being so-called wake or woken, awakened, I think of that show, Woke, where I get a laugh. Definitely, it's good to laugh, y'all. So that being said, we gonna sign out. Numaki WAWWA. Please continue to like, definitely share and revisit, listening, because some of the stuff that we dropped today is kind of like extra deep. So it may require a lot of y'all to wait. How do you put it, Ansubu, for the frequency to catch up with you maybe after your mind settles? I say this to a lot people that I speak with on a regular level. A lot of times our minds are moving too fast for the frequency. Hopefully y'all can see the website now. It finally came up on my screen.
I see it.
But our minds are moving faster than we actually need. Oh, look, we got a lot of people representing right there, y'all, in the house. I can't see. That looks like somewhere above Africa. This over here looks like North Dragon. Never heard of that. Sacktown in the house. That's me. But yeah, so y'all can see it's all in real time. It's all us. It's all here. But the note I was trying to discuss, which just flipped my mind already.
Take your time, brother.
What was that?
Take your time, brother.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for telling me that, because that's what my point was. Taking your time. And like I said, our minds are so preoccupied, just like I lost that thought. In order for a lot of the most important frequencies to reach your mind has to slow down. You have to stop and take time to just be. I don't know if y'all ever really meditated, but the point of meditation is just being. And when you just be, you realize a lot of this stuff that we think we so-called have to do, must do, you don't have any of that to do, really. All you have to do is be. And a lot of times, some people, and this is why I don't not people who do certain things to add to that as far as meditation. You know, my brothers that got the different herbs, and I guess I can't say the words a lot of time. Is it Ayurvedic? ARUY Vedic. Those methods of, say, for instance, let me see if I can explain this some with maybe a book. Say, for instance, those who may use mushrooms or what's the thing made out of? I think it's made out of cactus. It's the Amazonian peyote. The whole purpose of those things, even if you smoke cannabis, the whole purpose, your mind slows down, and then it's able to absorb you. Because that picture that we put up, that's like how our universe. That's a structure of our universe as well as our innerverse. And to understand it takes a perspective of mind that can't be concerned about rent, light bill, supposed to impress this person, supposed to call this person, oh, pandemic, all these different distractions, they just take away from your mind being able to slow down and see the real reality of what's really going on. So I like how the Ansubu explains that you have to wait sometimes for the frequency to hit your head. A lot of times, and this is why it's important to do certain things right before you go to sleep and right before you wake up. One of my routines is I go over the 42 principles of Ma'at. The purpose is those are the most times that your mind is in an alpha state and able to be slowed down long enough, or it's at that slow frequency where it can pick up these frequencies. That's it. Like I said, it's a lot we threw at you today. Definitely rewatch it, share it, and let's see you next week, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Same time. Let's connect. Connected minds, y'all. Thank y'all. Numaki WAWWA.
Numaki WAWWA.